The party is run by what I would call, they're not by anti-war Democrats or progressive Democrats, but by genocide Democrats. They might pay lip service to Black Lives Matter, claim to support women's or children's rights. Hillary Clinton said she's a major advocate of children's rights. They say they oppose Christian nationalism and religious nationalism at home. But when AIPAC comes calling, they sacrifice all of those principles and they bow to apartheid. Let's look at Biden himself. Joe Biden is the largest recipient of Israel lobby money of any active U.S. politician. He's received over $1 million throughout his career. He identifies himself as a Christian or Gentile Zionist. He said in a floor speech in the Senate that if Israel did not exist, it would have to be invented. We would have to invent it. The way we kind of did. They could end this starvation, this famine right now if they wanted. All Joe Biden has to do is make a phone call to Netanyahu. He's been on the phone with him every day. He's so frustrated. They're always leaking all these conversations. Oh, Netanyahu won't do what we want. By the way, we're sending more weapons. All you have to do is say no more spare parts for the F-16s that are bombing all those multifamily story apartment blocks in Gaza that have destroyed 85% of all residential buildings in the Gaza Strip. No more parts, no more howitzers, time to negotiate. And by the way, once we have a ceasefire, the hostages will all come out. And they can all be on the White House lawn in a big ceremony with you. And Tony Blinken can get the accolade he deserves for getting the hostages out. Why don't they do it? They can't do it because Biden wants to run for re-election. Biden is Mr. AIPAC. Joe Biden, instead of listening and responding to the voices of the 100,000 people who voted uncommitted in Michigan, went to the home of Haim Saban, a Zionist billionaire Hollywood mogul, who said that I'm a one-issue guy and my issue is Israel. Haim Saban hosted a $250,000 a head fundraiser for Biden, helping Biden raise a record total of $42 million in January alone, co-hosted by pro-Israel Hollywood mogul Casey Wasserman. And that's why the aid isn't getting in. That's why Biden will not counter Netanyahu and the most right-wing, fanatically religious, nationalist, anti-Palestinian coalition government in Israeli history. Hillary Clinton, one of the largest recipients as a senator of donations from AIPAC, has slammed proposals for a ceasefire in Gaza, repeatedly supported Israel's military campaign in Gaza, consistent with her passion for regime change wars. It was Hillary Clinton, under the watch of Barack Obama, who helped destroy Libya, assassinating its leader, sending weapons to al-Qaeda-allied proxies like the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, flooding Libya with weapons, leading to the rise of ISIS control over several cities in Syria, the destabilization of the entire Sahel region, and the return of slavery to the African continent, as the late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi warned. Today, Libya is a despotic hellhole in crisis, thanks to that military intervention, and the destabilization continues. Hillary Clinton called to bomb Syria in 2016. She also called for directly confronting Russian aircraft, going to war with Russia over Syria in 2016, becoming the Air Force for al-Qaeda, the forces that the U.S. was arming on the ground there to overthrow the Syrian government. And of course, she spread the lies about WMD in Iraq in her notorious Senate floor speech supporting the war on Iraq. Where are the women and children's rights that she stood for her life when it comes to women in Gaza, who now have nowhere to even have their periods, have their children, whose children are being exterminated before their eyes? Where are the children's rights? Children have nowhere to hide in Gaza. The hypocrisy is stunning, as it was with Barack Obama, who was himself a recipient of hundreds of thousands of dollars of money from AIPAC by the time he was elected president after spending just a short time in the Senate. I remember when Barack Obama was elected, before he was inaugurated, that's when Israel chose to launch the beginning of its succession of devastating assaults on Gaza. Operation Cast Lead, which left over 1,400 dead, 40,000 homes destroyed, and 100,000 homeless. And Obama said nothing about Operation Cast Lead. And when he was inaugurated, He sent the GBU bunker buster bombs, the 2,000-pound bombs, the howitzers, the tank shells. Barack Obama presided over the grisliest assaults on Gaza up until this point. Operation Pillar of Defense. Over 150 killed, 300 homes destroyed, 1,700 left homeless. Operation Protective Edge, which I covered from the inside of Gaza. I saw it. I witnessed the destruction. I sat with those whose families were slaughtered. I sat in their destroyed homes. 2,200 killed, 17,000 families left homeless. Families, not people. 35,000 artillery shells of different types fired on Gaza after being delivered by the Obama administration. 14,500 tank shells. What's Obama doing now? Has he said anything about this? Is he speaking out like Jimmy Carter so bravely did? Is he even like building homes for the homeless like Jimmy Carter did? No, his life is one giant luxury vacation. He's one week he's at a Springsteen concert, Michelle's playing tambourine. The next week he's having splash fights with billionaire Richard Branson at his private mansion. He's raking in the multi-million-dollar speaking fees from the big banks as the Clintons did. And he, like the Clintons and like Joe Biden's largest single donor, was Haim Saban, the one issue guy whose issue is Israel.